Hey everybody, this is Ed from the Evercade Effect, and this t-shirt may be a clue for today's video. So today I'm going to pick my top 10 Evercade arcade carts. And a huge shout out to the Game Freak, because he made a video on this and I was really inspired. And I thought it would be just really fun just to go through and talk about them and why I picked each of these. I will say that I think all these carts that I'm going to point out are essential and you can't go wrong. All right. So in reverse order, starting with number 10, as maybe a surprise, but this is going to be Irem Arcade 1. And this is a very good collection, so we're off to a strong start. So we're going to go ahead, let's look at the games, and I'm going to go ahead and do a breakdown as to why this comes in at number 10 in that lower position. All right, so here we have Irem 10 is going to the listing. All right. So definitely this makes the list for 2 games alone. R-Type, classic, love it. Tough as nails, excellent shooter. Remember this back in the day. Moon Patrol, yes, is a classic. I don't have as much nostalgia for it. Battle Chopper and 10-Yard Fight, if anything, kind of hurt this list. Battle Chopper is just way too tedious. If you could at least continue, if there are checkpoints, that'd make this game so much better. 10-Yard Fight, I think, is garbage. I really don't like this game. It's not a good football game. In the Hunt, this game was also fantastic. This was another great shoot 'em up and lightning swords. So we have 3 solid games right out of the bat. Moon Patrol again is good. I don't think it's anything like an S tier. And then we have 2 other games. They kind of hurt it. So let's move on to number 9. Yeah, Taito 2. So, of course, one of the Taito cards had to make the list, despite the fact of me playing them a lot in the Super Pocket. Solid games, although the reason I picked 2 is because 2 is a better curated list. I really like, of course, the classic Bubble Bobble itself, but other than that, this list is really good. New Zealand Story classic. Oh my God, such a fun platformer. Operation Wolf hurts this cart. While it is great, it's not fun playing it with the mouse. And yeah, the D-pad and even the Neo Geo clicky stick is all right. You really need to like them the way this game was designed. Roston, total classic. Friggin' love this game. That's another hit. Elevator Action, another kick-ass game. Kiki Kai, friggin' fantastic. I love this game as well. Liquid Kids, it's about an average platformer. It's kind of a cool, cutesy game. Bullfied is a lot of fun, and it plays so much better on the VS than the Super Pocket. So it's just a weird game. You have to go around and trace an area, and it's pretty cool. And then Alpine Ski and Electric Yo-Yo, those are just average. But those other games, really, Roston, New Zealand Story, Elevator Action, Kiki Kai, that really makes this card shine. I really wish that Bubble Bobble was on here, but hey, sometimes you just have to make sacrifices. All right, let's move on to number 7. Sorry, number 8. Apparently, I forgot I forgot how to count. So we have Irem at number 10, Taito 2 at number 9, Toplin 4 at number 8. Yes, the start of the Toplins. And you may ask, well, why does the latest entry in the series come in first, and why does it come in 7? I mean, I'm sorry, why does it come in 8? Keep wanting to say 7. It is definitely a great game. There is one Toplin, I will tell you, that didn't make this list that I think is the worst in the series, and there are better games, and we'll get down to that after I cover the Toplins. But so it is great. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So Grindstormer is a fantastic game. Freaking tough as nails. Super challenging. I think now, since we have dip switches, I may have to go and play that on easy, so it's a lot more playable. But fantastic surprise, really good. I also have the standalone version on Steam. Fantastic game. Doguyun, I'm probably mispronouncing, I apologize. This game is all right. Again, tough, but just average, right? Not like the best game, not the worst. Knuckle Bash, much better beat 'em ups, as you'll see, of other cards that make the list. It's not great, but it's not horrible. It's below average. Snow Bros 2 is really cool. Same with Bippy and BB's. So Bippy and BB's and Grindstormer, that's my top 3 games on here. Unfortunately, there's not enough like really good games to put this lower on the list. And Sky Shark console version, this is pathetic. I don't know why this is on here. I feel honestly that this is a waste of a license. It's nifty to see, but this would have been better as an unlock. Yeah, I really think that that's lame that collection is on here. All right, so again, Toplin 4, number 8. Now let's go ahead. I got my numbers straight and talk about number 7. All right. Okay. So now we have here, make sure I got the right one. We have Toplin 3 coming in at number 7. So let's go ahead and talk about how this beats out some of the other carts, how this beats out some of the other Toplins. Let's go ahead. Boom. Okay. So this one, I think, oh my God, this is one of the best Toplin collections on here. You have, but there's still maybe there's other ones that beat this. Batsagoon, Batsagoon is a fantastic game, both it and the special. The only thing that hurts it is that we have 2 versions of the game instead of something else. That game is fantastic. That is a lot of fun. Both Outzone and Fix 8, very similar. Are these kind of like Akari Warrior overhead games? Total bangers. So far, we're 4 out of 4. Really fantastic. Love both of those games. Truxton 2. Oh my God! So many good shooters on this. Yeah, that's a fantastic game. Gox is horrible. It's the weakest one. It's the weakest one on here. It's very meh. And then Vimina is a pretty good shooter. It may be the worst shooter of that's on here. But all these other games are solid. But yeah, if the other Truxton collections fall lower on the list, maybe there's games that I enjoy even more. So that was number 7. Now let's start to go number 6. Almost halfway there. So surprise, surprise, is my shirt. It's on my shirt. Yes, Neo Geo, but it's not going to be 3, 2, 1. I love the Neo Geo. It is awesome. There's tons of nostalgia. But yeah, there's some other collections that are better with the way that they're curated. Not saying that they're better than the Neo Geo necessarily. But why does Neo Geo collection number 1? Whoop. Hold on a second. I grabbed the wrong one. Let me fix that. And we're back. Okay, sorry about that. I just had a word with the producer. No, number 3 is the right one. We got our lists. We got our lists crossed. So yeah, number 3 is the right one, and I'll tell you, and I'll tell you why. So let me go ahead and we'll bring up this list. Okay, it is the newest one, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the better curated. Yes, I love all those other shooters and everything. But what I do love more than this collection, Metal Slug 3, very solid. It's not the favorite of my Metal Slugs. One of the reasons why is because it's a little bit too long. I think most of the Metal Slugs you can knock out like in 30 minutes or so. And this was an hour. It felt like it dragged on the fast few levels. Still very cool, very awesome. But maybe there's other Metal Slugs I like more. And then we have King of the Fighters 97. Again, another solid fighter, but maybe there's other fighters I like more. I know people don't really like Twinkle Star Sprites. I find this to be fun. It's a weird kind of battle. Yes, shoot 'em up. And I don't know. I really like this. There's something that I've always liked about this game, kind of from back in the day. Another good one, Samurai Showdown 2. While I like other fighting games more, it is still a solid pick. Ghost Pilots is meh. So here's what's interesting. Like Ghost Pilots is, of any of the shooters that I've showed you so far, so much better than Ghost Pilots. This game really drags on, really repetitive. It's just kind of meh. Super Sidekick, surprisingly, is a really fun game. Really fun. Again, I wish we got to the sports games, but it's just really fun. Again, this is a solid collection, but maybe there's other Neo Geo collections that are that are even more solid. So, with that said, 3 comes in at number 6. Let's go ahead and move on to number 5. Yes, in my opinion, the collection that really kicked off the shoot 'em ups on Evercade and started it all, Toplin Arcade 1. This, oh my god, this is so solid, and that's why it deserves a number 5. So from 5 down below, like the 5, the 4, and the 3 spot were really tough. 2 and 1, I knew instantly. But let me tell you that from the 5 spot, it's getting really tough. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at these games. And yes, so this was the one that has Tiger Heli, it has Flying Shark, it has Alicon. So for me, I think this overall is just a more solid collection than the first one. And yes, and also Guardian, the first Truxton, Zero Wing, Snowbro. Really, the only game that's really crap that I don't like is Techie Packy. That is just, it's nothing like Tetris. All these other games are solid. And yes, that's why this one just edges out Neo Geo 3, mainly because of the curation with that collection. All these games at one are bad. I mean, this kind of depends. If you grew up with a lot of these shooters, if you grew up playing like Tiger Heli and Flying Shark and Alcon in the arcade, those are just incredible. Yes, there's some nostalgia why I like those games. Guardian was weird, but it was it was a cool beat 'em up, better than the other beat 'em ups that we've seen so far. And then Truxton and Zero Wing, and of course our classic Snow Bros. I mean, I think I might like the first one a little bit better. It's hard to say, but all these are classic, and that's where they edge out the Neo Geo and some of the other collections. Because I remember when this one came out, it was just incredible, and I think it's still solid, to this day. So yes, there is some things that beat out Neo Geo. Maybe there's more that beat out Neo Geo. All right. So that was number 5. Let's go in and move in to number 4. All right. So coming in to number 4 is Neo Geo 2. Yes. So let's take a look at how this collection is curated and how this just like edged out, Truxton there, just by a little bit, and maybe some of the other games. I will say with all the Neo Geo collections, I have had so much fun streaming them. It's been a great experience. So when I was saying other fighting games, Gyro Mark of the Wolves, yes. So that's why this collection edges out some of the other ones. Art of Fighting 2, it's not horrible, but it's not super great. Okay, it's just kind of average. Now Metal Slug 2, it's not my favorite Metal Slug, but it's close, and that's why this gets the ranking that it does. It's like Metal Slug 1. It still has the charm of 1 and the charm of 3, but it's not as long, right? And there's some nostalgia, but I do like Metal Slug 2 and 1 better than 3. Fantastic game. And because of the length of it too, with these, I feel like I can just put it in, I can beat it. It tells you the number of credits. I can't remember if 3 does, but I know 2. It tells you the number of credits that you've used, so you want to do better next time when you beat the game. And it doesn't feel like it drags on, and it's just like super solid. Ninja Commando. Oh my god, this game was really, again, one of those kind of like a Akari Warrior type of style games. Fantastic, lots of fun. It's just so far really solid collection. Cross Swords. I never want to play this game again. I was streaming this last night. I had 2 freaking hours. I played this, other than just my initial impressions of the game, where I played maybe 5 or 10 minutes. It takes 2 freaking hours. There's 9 chapters. It drags on and on and on. This one game alone, I almost put it higher, but I couldn't hold it against the collection. This game drags on. It's extremely repetitive. They reuse the assets for the backgrounds. They reuse assets for all the enemies that you fight, and it's just, oh my god, it's really fun. Like the first couple levels, and then it just gets repetitive, boring. And I beat it on stream recently, so I never have to play this game again. And then Sudoku 2. Yes, it's a pretty good it's a pretty good beat 'em up. Not the best beat 'em up, definitely better than 1. Not as good as 3, but you have a great variety, and you have a solid collection here. All right, so that was number 4. What takes the number 3 slot? Let's find out. Now you're starting to see why this is getting tough, right? Of course, all 3 Neo Geo cards were going to make the list. I love the Neo Geo. They're solid collections. I recommend Evercade. You got to get them. But let's talk about why the original Neo Geo cart was rated better than the other two, even though the other two are newer and they're all still like friggin' fantastic and amazing. Let's talk about it. Well, actually, there's one game, Metal Slug. If I'm being perfectly honest, Metal Slug 1, currently in Choice of Other Collections, is my favorite Metal Slug. There's just something classic. It plays well. You beat it in 30 minutes. It shows, like Metal Slug 2, it shows the number of credits, so you can kind of see how many you use. Like, oh wow, I beat it under 20 credits this time. It's just really fun. A lot of the times on my streams, I've just fired it up and I play this game. It's just, oh my god, it's you'll see it's kind of like some of the other carts. And yes, you'll notice there's two other carts that actually beat out Neo Geo. Oh my god, how is that possible? So yeah, I love that. King of the Fighters 2000 is all right. I like 97. Again, there's other fighting games that I like more, but I don't hold that against this cart. Shock Troopers was fantastic. That was just amazing, top down. You notice there's a lot of like top down, shooters in this. A lot of fun if you like Akari Warriors and all that stuff. This is another one that when I would fire up the cart, I would blow through this as well. I love it. Magician Lord. I always say I love this game until I can get past the first level. Tough as nails. Lots and lots of nostalgia. So that's why I don't hold anything against it. Lots of nostalgia. Maybe one day I'll beat it, but it's still kind of fun to attempt to beat. Sudoku, yeah, this game is really bad in my opinion. It's the one game that holds down this cart for maybe a lower spot. Yeah, Sudoku 1, very, very bare bones fighter. It's one of the worst fighters on Evercade. Yes, you can morph into your other forms, but it's pointless really to do so. And it's just a weird system. You can only pick one character. I don't like it. Ironclad, another, and I think Game Freak said this too, that it was another underrated shooter. It was only available on the Neo Geo CD, and this was another gem. I really hadn't played this game. So yeah, this is solid. It was just, oh my god, when I popped in the Neo Geo 1 and 2 and in 3, all these collections were just magical, right? There was just something about these collections that were a lot of fun. I just had a really, really good time. All right, so there's no more Neo Geo collections now. What could possibly be left? What two collections could possibly beat out like Neo Geo and Truxton and Taito and Irem? Have I gone mental? Have I lost it? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at number 2. See if it's a number 2. Okay, so when you hear somebody say this is a hidden gem, this is actually the true and correct meaning of hidden gem, meaning this was a collection. This is what Evercade is all about. And they nailed it. This is a collection that was pure discovery, never played any of these games, and all these games were bangers. And it just captured it's one of those few times really where they knocked it out of the park, and it captures everything. And yes, and it's amazing, right? I rate this higher than Neo Geo, and for the reason that it's very difficult to have a collection of games where they're all unique. Most of them are all really good. And you get the discovery and you get the nostalgia. You get everything wrapped in one package. And it's very difficult for that to happen. So I was truly blown away when I got this. This was one of the earlier, this is what, cart number poopity poop. Cart number 3. Yeah, this is one of the early arcade games. And I really felt like they hit their mark. Alligator Hunt. This was an incredible third-person shooter, and it plays well with the controller or joystick. You don't need a light gun or anything. It's a shorter game, but hey, that's what arcade games are supposed to be. Lots of fun. Oh my god, lots of fun, challenging. And not only, one other thing I need to mention too, why this cart gets a number 2, is because this has been my go-to cart for a long time. Streaming-wise, and just playing some of the games I'm going to talk about. I've just gone back. I've just played these games. Lots of replay value. Biomechanical Toy. Before we had Metal Slug, this reminded me a lot of like Metal Slug, except on LSD. It's like you're crazy, weird, just awesome, very very solid running gun. Glass. Something really soothing about playing this game. You just have to go through, complete all the things. Or I guess get all the things on the screen. Something very soothing and like chilling. I've beaten this multiple times. The boy game, the girl game, and all that. Yes, Blaze toned it down to make it appropriate to be on this console for those of you who know what I mean. And it's just chill, but it's also challenging because you have to beat the bosses in one go. And I love it. I've gone back and I played the hell out of that game. Snowboard Championship and World Rally are the two worst games on this cart. I know people like that style of racing. I really don't. I think it's yeah. I don't like that style of racing where you kind of see the definitely Snowboard Championship. It makes more sense at least because you're on a snowboard. But World Rally, it just feels like you're controlling a remote control race car, and I don't like it. Those two games are at the bottom, but you still have 1, 2, 3. You still have 4 solid games. Thunder Hoop. Oh my God, this was another. This game blew me away. Another gem in disguise. It's frustrating, but it's challenging. But oh my God, better than the second one. And the curation of this collection is better than Galco Collection 2. That's why it finds a spot here. I mean, this is what Evercade's about. Capturing the nostalgia. Yeah, these are all games that if I played back in the day, this would be awesome in the arcade. Total Discovery. Never played any of this stuff, and it's just wow, such a great experience. Okay. And so now you might be wondering, well, whoa, crap, there's all this. What could possibly be the number one spot over Neo Geo, over Taito, over everything else that I've talked about, over Toplin? Well, let's not waste any more time. I'll show you. Should be no surprise that Data East 1 takes the number one spot. Oh my God. This was one of the OG carts that shipped out with it, this and Technos. Oh my God. So this we're gonna dive. We're going to dive into this and see if I can articulate myself properly without being overwhelmed how great this collection is. Again, this is another go-to collection. I've gone back. I played it many times. I've started off streams just by going through and beating Bad Dudes. Bad Dudes, it was one of those games as a kid where it looked so cheesy, but it was good. And then it just grew on me and it became a cult classic. Awesome beat 'em up. Simple 2-button attack jump. I freaking love this game. This is kind of like how Metal Slug is like the run and gun. This is the beat 'em up version. I've beaten this so many times. Fantastic. I mean, that puts it up there. Breakthrough, that was, Discovery. I kind of remember this game. It's kind of average. Burger Time, of course. It's Burger Time. Burger Time is fantastic. It's a classic. It elevates this collection. Who doesn't love Burger Time? Chain Reaction. Another Discovery game. I'd never played this before. We don't have Tetris. It's the best puzzle game, in my opinion, that we have as of now in Evercade, and it's actually like just really, really, really good, and it's amazing. The Dungeons and Dragons knockoff, Gate of Doom, both of these in the series, Gate of Doom and Wizard Fire Dark Seal 2 are fantastic. The poor man's Dungeons and Dragons, but I mean, I call it that, but it's really good. It's just. And what do we have? We have 10 games on here too. So that's the other, usually the arcade games, we have half of that, but most all these are just total bangers. So yeah, those two. Darwin 4078, total crap, piece of shit. I don't like it. Sorry. Data East isn't known for its shooters. So, I mean, still though, it doesn't bring this collection down too much. Sly Spy, oh my God. It's kind of like Bad Dudes where you just want to jump in there and play it and beat through the game, and it's like your 007. It's amazing. It's just true Data East like fashion. And then we have Lock and Chase, Pac-Man's shunned cousin. No, but it is. We don't have like an arcade version of Pac-Man. This is the closest thing. There's a learning curve, but I really liked it once I got into it. Fantastic. And then Tumble Pop. It's it reminds me a lot of your Bubble Bobble type games. So, I mean, of all these, we have 9. Yeah, we have 9. Well, I'll say 8 super solid games. Breakthrough isn't horrible at all, and it's just lots of nostalgia, lots of discovery, lots of everything really, of what Evercade's about. So those are my top 10 Evercade carts that I would recommend everybody go out and buy. If you own an Evercade, interested in going to Evercade, you can't go wrong. Really, I mean, just in general, I will say of the 20 arcade carts, you really can't go wrong. They're all really good, except for Atari 1, just because a lot of those games are designed around trackballs and spinners and everything. That's why that didn't make the list, because you have to have, really specific controllers. Atari 2 arcade was probably an honorable runner-up because of Berserk and Frenzy and all that. But yeah, you can't go wrong with Evercade arcade carts. If you're getting an Evercade, I'd recommend you start with those. Those are my top 10. What are your top 10? Put in the comments below. Let me know. Did I leave anything out? So I did leave out. And I want to talk about why I left it out. It was Topolin 2. I left Topolin 2 out because I think of the Topolin games, it was a follow-up to the first one. It was the worst curation of the Topolin games. I just, it was just like Topolin 1 was so much better, and it felt like that really they stuck on their leftover games on there. So that's why this didn't make the list. And it was very close. I will say that I think the Neo Geo and the Topolin collections are just, oh my god, they're just the most solid. So if you had to start with this one, so much fun. All right, I'm going to go ahead and thank my channel members. I did update the list. I do apologize. Dan Nastic, I've added you, and Sprout Man, you're there. Everybody's there. It's all fully updated. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, all that cool YouTube stuff. I'm going to go ahead and thank my channel members, and bye-bye. Thanks, Crashline, Immortal Sojourn, Amber Cummings, Joe Whitlush, Alex Groot.